So after an amazing few days here in Nepal, flying on some really cool planes and taking some really interesting flights, it's time to head back with Etihad Airways. I'm really looking forward to seeing what their business class product is like, so let's head across to Tribhuvan Airport and take the first leg of my journey home. A big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. I was perhaps rather naively expecting Kathmandu's international terminal to be a little less chaotic than its domestic counterpart, and it did initially seem to be so, but that was until I got through security and entered the bedlam that was the departure lounge at Kathmandu.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Have a lovely day. Thank you for your help.
There's no lounge after security, it was just a couple of tiny gates which are woefully undersized for the number of passengers that are waiting here. People were crammed into every available space and were sitting on every available surface. It was utter chaos. I found a spot on a windowsill to watch the planes and feel a little less claustrophobic before my flight was called.
Thank you.
Like the domestic terminal, you just step outside to a bus which takes you across to the stand. Business class get to ride in this little van. My trip home consisted of an Etihad A320 to Abu Dhabi before getting on a Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner to Manchester. My ride today was this Airbus A320 delivered brand new to Etihad in 2014.
Good, thank you. How are you? Yes. Thank you. Thank you very
Compared to the other Middle East airlines that send wide bodies on the flights to this part of the world, on the face of it, it does put Etihad at a bit of a disadvantage to the rest. But that said, it's only a 4 to 5 hour flight to Abu Dhabi, and for me, I don't need a flat bed on such a short flight. And it has to be easier for the airline to fill an A320 rather than a 787. We soon taxied out for our flight to Abu Dhabi. Our route today took us west across Nepal, crossing northern India and Pakistan, before crossing into Oman and descending into Abu Dhabi. Flight time today was 4 hours and 44 minutes, cruising at an altitude of 36,000 feet. We got some great views of the Himalayas as we crossed Nepal into India. Shortly after takeoff, the menus were brought round for the dinner service. I have to say the food was a little underwhelming on this flight. For starter I took the chilli and coriander prawn, and for the main course I had the salmon tikka. They were both presented quite nicely, but neither tasted particularly good. That isn't to say it was bad, but it was just a little meh. The bread was warm and soft though, which is always nice. After a few hours, the lights of the Omani coast came into view as we started our descent into Abu Dhabi. Just like at Kathmandu, we pulled onto a remote stand. Abu Dhabi's having a brand new terminal built across the airport, which is due open imminently, and will hopefully mean a lot more gates with jet bridges. I headed into the terminal and to the Etihad lounge at Abu Dhabi.
Hello, Mahaba. Thank you.
Just be mindful with the time later
Okay.
on. We don't call the flights.
Wonderful, thank you.
The lounge here is pretty nice and has a lot of seating areas and a good selection of food and drink, but I just had a couple of bottles of water in the lounge. I rested a few hours here before heading down to the gate.
Hi,
Morning, sir.
thank you.
My ride to Manchester tonight was this year-old Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner, delivered brand new to Etihad in December 2018.
I repeat, any business class, guest, platinum, gold members, wheelchairs, guests with
It was soon
families.
time to get on board and I walked down the jet bridge to the waiting Dreamliner.
Thank you. Hello there.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, so 12 please for you, then to the left.
Thank
Have
you.
a lovely flight.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you.
Etihad's business class on the 787 is in a 1-2-1 configuration and each seat is in its own little suite. The outside aisle seats face backwards. The seats are incredibly private and are finished to a really high standard. There's a huge TV screen at the front and I love this reading lamp at the side of the suite. Amenity kits were handed out and they're not too bad. Inside is the usual selection of eye mask, socks, toothbrush and toothpaste, with a small bottle of cologne and hand cream, which is a nice touch. I took a glass of champagne when we waited at the gate and got settled in for the flight. So on board and very comfortable, might I say. It's really nice. Lovely little suite here. Hopefully get some sleep later. We're pushing back soon to get on our way to Manchester. With this being an overnight flight, there was no dinner service as such, but breakfast will be served before landing in Manchester. You can, however, choose anything that you want from the all-day menu at any point in the flight and they'll just go and cook it for you. The seat has its little touchscreen that allows you to set the firmness of the cushions and the lumbar support. The seat's adjusted using these buttons at the side. No, thank you. I really did like the blankets on Etihad. They're really soft and velvety and tremendously comfy. Soon it was time to push back for the flight back to Europe. Our route tonight then took us up the Persian Gulf and across Iraq before crossing Turkey, Romania and Hungary. From there we crossed Austria and Germany before getting an unusual direct routing from Belgium to Manchester, which took us straight over Norfolk and Lincolnshire and onto final approach at Manchester. Flight time tonight was 7 hours and 5 minutes at a cruising altitude of 34, 36 and 38,000 feet. So then airborne from Abu Dhabi for the flight back to Manchester. I've opted to have my meal as breakfast rather than dinner. You get a choice, or you can have snacks and things as well, but I kind of figured that breakfast would be better because I just need sleep. So I'm going to try and get some sleep, and I will see how well I sleep. The bed's actually really comfortable. Just put it down to the lie flat. This blanket is divine. It's really nice and comfortable. So I'm really hoping that I get a quality sleep tonight, or at least as much as possible on an 8-hour flight. I think this is back to Manchester. Anyway, good night. Well, good morning. We are overhead Hungary right now, and I've just been woken up because they're about to serve breakfast. Quite a nice few hours sleep at least. The bed's really comfortable, honestly. It's allowed me to lay straight and flat out, and the seat is just so private. It's like being in your own little cocoon. It's really nice. So just waiting for breakfast, and then soon we'll be landing in Manchester. The entertainment system's pretty decent, and there's a good choice of movies, TV and live TV as well. Breakfast soon arrived, and I ordered a salmon bagel to start, which wasn't that great to be honest. It looked nice, but the bread was really dry and I ended up leaving most of it. The main course was an omelette, which again was okay, but not spectacular. The bathrooms on the 787 are really smart and clean, and I love the fact that they've got a window. Back at my seat, and we were soon commencing our descent over Norwich. We took a direct route in which saved us going to London and turning right, and as a result I got a great view of my hometown of Mansfield lit up in the early morning below. I just wish they could have dropped me off there. The approach was really clear with some great views until we got to final approach at least. About a mile before landing, the ground was shrouded in really low thick fog which sat for about 100 feet above the ground. It was seriously foggy at Manchester, and shortly after my flight landed, most flights started diverting away to other airports. You couldn't see the end of the wing, it was that thick. Overall, I was really impressed with Etihad's 787. The seat was incredible and easily the best business class seat that I've ever sat in. On the downside though, the food wasn't fantastic, but the service and cabin crew were.
I'll have a good stop over anyway, and I'll see you.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the call.
See you later. Yeah, bye. Thanks a lot. Oh, sorry. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
You do have that issue with the A320 on the Asian routes compared to the wide bodies operated by Emirates and Qatar Airways, even if it is a really comfortable A320. I'm looking forward to trying out Etihad's first class apartments later in the year on the A380 and seeing the difference between their business class and first class products. Make sure you subscribe so that you see that video when it comes out. Before I go, a big shout out to this video's sponsor, Skillshare. Whatever skills you'd like to brush up on, check out Skillshare. It's an online learning community that offers membership with meaning. With so much to explore, real projects to create, and the support of fellow creatives, Skillshare empowers you to accomplish your goals. They've got a huge range of online video courses for you to learn anything from crocheting dishcloths to web development. Skillshare offers classes designed for real life, so you can learn and grow with short classes that fit your busy routine. In 2020, I've made the decision to start taking some time for myself a bit more and starting to work smarter instead of harder. I found their range of courses really helpful in learning to work more efficiently and to take more time for myself. These courses in mindfulness have really helped me to unwind in between my trips, and courses like this one have helped me to start increasing my productivity in a way that allows me to spend more time not working and spending time with the family. Skillshare is giving away 2 free months of premium membership to the first 500 people who click the link in the description to help you explore your creativity. And after that, it's only around $10 a month.
So back at Manchester Airport in the UK after a fantastic flight with Etihad Airways in business class. Really enjoyed that, really great crew, fantastic service, and the seat was absolutely amazing. But let me know what you thought to it down in the comments below. But in the meantime, as always, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.